Oh, there we are. Ooh, I was double checking the mic and I almost forgot myself to put myself on video. Good morning, Market Snipers. Welcome back. 9 a.m. This is the second consecutive live stream. We hadn't done live streaming in a long time. I talked about it on the yesterday's live stream of all the reasons why. So we don't need to get into that again. But it's the second consecutive live stream. I like it. I like it a lot. I miss it. Just talking myself into a camera. No, hopefully you guys keep interacting on the comments and stuff because, it was very weird talking to myself, but you just get used to it after time. But good thing I'm my number one fan and crack myself up. Hopefully I have some fun along the way and make fun of me, laugh at me, and get rocking and rolling over here. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Woo! The market's looking super bullish right now, right? Good morning, Market Snipers. AR7_crypto. Hey, good to have your live streams back. Yep, good to be back. Thanks for smashing the like button. Thank you for smashing the subscribe button. Thank you for sharing this with all your friends and family. I appreciate it. Help me, help you, help me with algorithms. Let's get this party rocking and rolling. 2,200 views on the first live stream on X. Little light on YouTube, but the algorithms are different. So we'd like to get those up. Help me stay motivated. In return, hopefully I help you guys as well. So with that, let's keep going. Javier, day two. Got my water. Got my short run in this morning while it was raining. It was just sprinkling, and then while I was out there, I got dumped on for rain, and that's pretty rare in Orange County, California. But yeah, I got rained on, and it's raining pretty good right now. I love to see it. The only downside to the rain is I love seeing the rain because we don't get enough of it. But the only downside is the baby loves to be outside. She's 15 and a half months old. She's super active. And that's kind of our go-to. If she starts getting too cooped up or too whiny, we take her outside and she loves it. She loves outside. So it's going to be a challenge on rainy days. But yep, day two, here we are. Long time Market Sniper Johnny C. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you here on Twitter X. So let's jump into it. The first half of the live stream will be Bitcoin, altcoins. We're going to take a look at stocks. Spent a lot of time on yesterday's live stream before the drop, before it started dropping back down again today. So we don't need to cover it all again, but we will just take a quick look at it, make sure it's still on track. Looks like it's still on track. And this could be a sneaky lower high. So just be aware of that. Obviously, it's not confirmed until a lower low is in, but by then, that's below $108,000. But hindsight is always hindsight. So try to call it out in real time. Oh, there goes the trading bot alert. So anyways, this could be a sneaky lower high. That's just looking at it as potential foresight instead of when price is all the way down here and you're like, oh yeah, that's a lower high, that's a lower low, lower high. And then you're the hindsight crew. But that doesn't help you today. That doesn't help you yesterday. And I think I posted when price was starting to move back up on the wick, I posted any Bitcoin bounce is a gift. Any Bitcoin bounce is a gift. I can take that banner off. Oops. Okay, there we go. Good morning. Can we look at Serve Robotics or Zen? Sure. Yep, you're the first one to ask. So there you go. Is Telling a wake up? I don't know. We could probably look at it, but like I mentioned, I don't Wyckoff. I'll look at it and like I don't care to be an expert, but I'll use the idea as a pattern, right? So I'll look at the pattern. I'll use it as an idea like fractals and stuff, but I don't know. We can take a quick glance at it. But yeah, so finish my thought on Bitcoin. I had posted over here on October 10th that any bounce is a gift. Maybe not a gift for those who are greedy, but any bounce, and it bounced up to 116,000-ish, depending on what exchange you're looking at. Any gift is, I mean, any bounce is a gift until proven otherwise. So it's currently bouncing on the 5-minute chart right now. This is the daily chart. So it's bearish on the daily chart. Just kind of letting the trending dots catch up right now. And but it's bouncing on the 5-minute chart. You can always find a different time frame, bullish or bearish, right? So that's the daily chart. If this is a lower high, it will be confirmed once it closes below 108. You could even say this pivot point here. You could even say this pivot point here at 110. If you want to be really aggressive, it can be confirmed with a close below 110.554. But really, I would say 108.288 to be more conservative. You close below here, and that would confirm a lower low. But you could probably take in a super aggressive, basically going to be, if it takes out this pivot point here, it's basically going to do the same thing, in my opinion, right? So that's Bitcoin. Weekly chart, back below the trending dots. Long-term bearish divergence going all the way back to December 2024, all the way here, which means relative strength is leaving while price is going higher. Eventually, price catches up. Bearish or bullish divergence. There is bullish divergence at the bottom from November 2022 to December 2022. And then I took my first leverage long January 4th, 2023 at 16,800 with a 5x leverage long. But there was longer term bull. It wasn't even longer term. It was about a month worth of bullish divergence on Bitcoin at the bottom. We keep thanking Bitcoin for giving us divergences at the top and at the bottom. And even though this wasn't the top, it was still a local top. The top is always going to be in hindsight. So this topping pattern over here dropped 32%. Price bounces. This topping pattern here, probably going to see at least a 30% drop. It's already dropped 19%. If it's the top, which there's a lot of reasons to make a case for why it's the top. There was a case to make a top back here, the top, but it wasn't. So it's always the top is always going to be in hindsight, but this was a local top, 32% drop. This is another topping pattern. And so the probabilities increase that it's the top, right? The probabilities increase that it's the top. So when you're swing trading, just take the swings. Obviously, I trade on the daily chart, not the weekly chart. But if you're swinging up and it comes down, swings up, and then it comes down. So if it's the top, one of the targets will be to retest the 200-week moving average, aka the blue line. So there we go. There's an RSI sell signal over here on the weekly chart. Price pumps back up, but there's still no buy signal. And this just closed high enough to not be a bearish engulfing candle, trap some more longs in. And if this week closes back below here, back below the 112, it's very similar to the bearish engulfing candle. Same idea. They just pushed it up higher in the shorter term. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. And of course, to wrap things up on Bitcoin, the canary in the coal mine, right? The canary in the coal mine. MicroStrategy has been in a bear market since November 2024. That was the top. You can call this an Adam and Eve double top pattern, but it's just, I just call it a topping pattern. But, a lot of people just really like to see, mapped out like this. So that's why I put it on there. It doesn't mean that much to me. But I recognized it, and then I was just like, well, I'll put it on the chart. So Adam and Eve. So obviously it comes back down here, retest, and then starts closing back below. The probabilities are a lot higher of MicroStrategy coming back down and retesting the 200-week moving average. And it could be leading the way for Bitcoin, right? So again, it led it to the upside. It could do it to the downside, right? And then if we switch this over here, take that off, boom, boom, line. It's just a cleaner look. Take that off. Let's move this over so we can get a better picture. Try to do this quicker. There. So here I posted it October 8th when price was at 123,000. I posted this idea. Then the next day it dropped down to 112,000 and below, closed at 110. On October 10th or 11th, I said, will it bounce here, right? It did. And it bounced all the way up to, it wicked to 116,000. But I had it drawn. The freestyle drawing was up to like 116,000. And then after the bounce, it's starting to break back down. Will it just go straight down, or will it be a little bit of chop? I mean, we don't know. We don't have a magic crystal ball how exactly it's going to play out. Could just go straight down and then make that lower low, right? So that's the lower low that I'm talking about. This is the lower high bounce. This could be the lower high bounce. That's why I'm pointing that out, right? I'm pointing that out. And when price is over here, I talked about the bounce. So do I expect it to play out exactly the same? No. I drew some squiggly lines up here and it just went straight down. So however it plays out, the parts that are important that I'm watching is the lower high, the bounce, the lower low over here, right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, and then all the way down, right? So lower highs and lower lows. So however the price action plays out, can't predict that. This is just an idea of you're looking for the lower highs and lower lows. So that's why I'm continuing to show this chart is, as it progresses, how did the lower highs and lower lows progress? And is it going to retake out this pivot point? Is it going to retake out this pivot point? Is it going to take out this pivot point, right? So that's why I'm showing it. So there we go. Let's get back on candles. Let's get back on sharpshooter candles. Boom, boom, boom. Ethereum, right? It's hit 3 out of 4 targets so far. Came back up, retested the trending dots. So spiked all the way down, hit 3 targets, came all the way back up in the trending dots. This could be another lower high that closes back below, 4160. Probably just going to be a lower high. Never a guarantee, but it's just kind of shaping up that way, right? So that's Ethereum. Still watching SP500 over here. I was pointing out, excuse me. I was pointing out bearish divergence, sell signal. Like I said, even on the trading bot, you can do a filter where it disregards the buy signal underneath the trending dots, right? As a filter. So I drew this out that, hey, maybe it comes back up into the trending dots, puts in a lower high. And that lower high will be the higher probability that price is going down a lot more, right? So I haven't drawn the targets on. I'll probably draw them for tomorrow. But assuming this puts in a lower high and then you got a lower low, right? I don't know. Probably going to be like target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4, like eyeball test. Like done this so many times over and over again, drawing out and mapping out all the targets that you kind of eyeball it after doing it so many times, right? Actually, the low is all the way over there. So yeah, I mean, that still looks probably similar, but I'll map it out and have it ready for tomorrow, most likely, unless I forget. Algorand, I don't know if this is a fake out all the way to the downside, and drawing a squiggly line like this, will it pop out, right? If it does, Bitcoin dominance would be dropping, so would be great. I'm just waiting for something big to happen on Algo and XRP and stuff, but like this, I'm more optimistic of a bounce on Algorand than I am XRP. Because if you look at it, right, it looks different. I mean, of course, you could draw this similar trend lines, right? I don't know why I have it dotted, but right, but it's below it. So, there you go, trading bot. It's working hard today. It's below that, so it does look different. So trade each chart individually first and foremost. But I just tried to look for, assets that are very similar, and try to find that canary in the coal mine, right? That helps a lot. It helps with bias, helps with targets, all that stuff, right? So try to do that. We didn't spend a ton of time because there's not much really to report. It's just a lot of these altcoins are in a downtrend. I put this out there. I put that magnet. I forgot about the magnet, actually. I put the magnet out there, let's see, back in September. So not only did it retest this horizontal, it smashed all the way through it. That's insane. 785. Woo! Near, back below. Probably just delete. I probably just got to go through and delete all of like my drawings for altcoins and be like, and kind of map everything out, what it looks like, all that stuff. Probably get that all set up for tomorrow's live stream. But just wanted to look at a few of them. This was talking about Bitcoin dominance, right? This is kind of drawn on the weekly chart. So when the Bitcoin dominance was over here, August to September, can't remember when, I think it was here. I don't know, probably September. I drew this out. Maybe it was back here. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But expecting a bounce, right? And then if it does go down, maybe we get that. We get some altcoins pumping, right? That would be amazing. I'll play it. I'm not too good not to play it, but I'll play it with spot, right? I'm not going to use leverage on altcoins. They move so quickly already that it's too much, right? Can I do it? Yeah, but it's stressful. I don't want the stress. So I won't be using leverage on altcoins. If we get some massive move like this for altcoins, it might not be all altcoins, but if we do get a big move down in Bitcoin dominance like that, at least retest maybe the 200-week moving average, possibly. Like it's retested here, March 2021. I don't know. Every time is different. So if we put in a lower high and it comes down, I'm going to do my best to capture that move to the downside. What else? I haven't looked at gold in a bit, but blew through that target. Blew through that target, right? This was based off of the monthly chart. This is the weekly chart. And that target was based on the monthly, which was put out there, at least 2 years ago. I put that chart out there 2 years ago. So crazy. Silver breaking out of the cup and handle as well, right? Broke out. Let's see on the monthly chart. Had it drawn out. Maybe not on this chart, but so following gold right now, there was a crazy target of like $300 or something I had. So maybe it's on the other silver, not futures chart, but TDOC getting a little bit of a bounce today. Still hasn't gone to the moon. Hit 2 out of 4 targets so far. Hasn't filled this gap since February 2025. Well, how are we doing on time? 9:21. Doc. What's up, Doc? Oh, you changed your whole YouTube name and photo. Cool. I wouldn't even recognize you unless you kept Doc. Welcome back. Recent continuous slightly. Yeah, there's similarities for sure. There was bearish divergence. There was, and then once a lower high was put in, that was the higher probability. So yeah, there was bearish divergence in November 2021. There was bearish divergence from January 2021 to April 2021. And then the big 52% drop in May for Bitcoin in 2021. So yeah, had bearish divergence. And then July 2021, there was bullish divergence. I was calling that out. And I took a $32,300 leverage long Bitcoin at 10x, and I closed it out at 61,000. No, I'm sorry. I closed it out at the first pump in September at like 48 to 50,000. I even shorted that, and then the next 44,000, another 10x leverage long at 44,000, all the way to 61,000. So that was a great time to be trading Bitcoin 10x leverage. But yeah, Teladoc could be putting in higher highs, higher lows. 2 out of 4 targets so far. Hive, I posted yesterday, I had my mom close out like 50% of Hive, 50% of Bitfarm, and then close out another 25% today. And so pushing the rest for now. Marathon Digital, CLSK, right? All those. TLT, talked about how the bottom could be in. It's not doing a lot. If it were to flip the 200-week moving average, it may move a lot faster. It could just be getting back to the 200-week moving average. So expecting that to be retested at the very least. When? I don't know, but you can see the trajectory. Seems like it would retest it at a higher price than it is right now. MicroStrategy, already covered that one. Let's switch over to Magnificent 7, which turned into like the Magnificent 20. NVIDIA, heads up. Tesla, heads up. Got a gap over here too. Probably not going to go as long today. Yesterday was a long episode. We're at 25 minutes. I'm going to do a better job keeping time on it. ANF back. It's fully in the bear market, right? One of the top, how I came across Abercrombie & Fitch company pumping so hard was I Googled or searched. I don't know if it's Google or not. I'm pretty sure it's Google. I searched top performing asset of 2023, right? So this is 2023 into 2024, and then went much higher, then created the head and shoulders, right? And then broke down from the head and shoulders and had a target all the way down. This had a target here, but also had the head and shoulders target, came back, retested the 200-week moving average, right? So whatever goes up this hard retraces back to its true value of the 200-week moving average and could go below it, right? So it could go well below it. And currently, after it peaked, ANF peaked May 2024, came all the way back to the 200 1 year later. You call that a dead cat bounce on ANF. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is not because I traded it, but just as an idea for anything else that looks similar, right? Any asset that went parabolic and then starts to reverse, expect it to go back to the 200-week moving average. When? We don't have a magic crystal ball, but I expect it to go back to the 200-week moving average as the quote-unquote true value. And the reason why I say the true value is the 200-week moving average because, like I mentioned yesterday and many, many times before, if it's multiple deviations above or below the 200, I expect it like a rubber band to snap back and eventually retest it. So if it's deviations below it, I expect it to go back up to the 200, unless it's going to go bankrupt or something, right? But if it goes multiple deviations above, like this was a 700% pump above the 200-week moving average. Now it's dropped so far 67%, and now it's back down below the 200-week moving average, right? So that's what I'm looking at, right? Amazon, coming back to the anchor VWAP. You've got TQQQ still holding that 106 put. Could come back up and retest the trending dots. But as you can see, it's November 7th, right? So I've got till November 7th. I should put that on my chart just so it's. So I would be annoyed if it doesn't come back at least down to here when I could have closed out the position by November 7th. So I would be annoyed because giving back gains, but it's in the green, so it doesn't really matter too much. PLTR, similar thought, right? Come back up into the trending dots. What was it? That one's a little bit sooner. Let me go back. October 31st, yeah. So that one, October 31st. Like that. So we want to at least come back down to where it was at 171 and feel really good about it. And anything below that is great. But, I didn't go all in on either one. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And that's the way you should be trading. You should be trading where you don't keep yourself up at night because you went all in with your and your family's money on 20x leverage or 10x leverage, right? So you should, obviously none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is just for education purposes only, and you're going to have to make your own decisions in life. But me personally, I wouldn't do that because, like I talked about yesterday on the ramble, I've gone back to zero, and I can't go back to zero in my mid 40s. Oh, it was brutal in my mid 20s. There's no way I can go back to zero. No way. Can't do that. Oh, that's the trading bots on my other account too. I have 2 trading view accounts, so the dollar still at target 1, letting the trading dots catch up. The VIX was pumping. Where's that at? But let's just quickly go through. See Amazon, Meta, got some gaps, right? Looks like a lower high. Microsoft, huge gap at 396. I mean, eyeball test. Let's see. 7%. That's not that big. 7% is not that big, but big enough to pay attention to, right? So you got a gap over there. Is this a lower high, right? NASDAQ, QQQ, DXY, Apple could bounce back up into the trending dots, but it was looking like a topping pattern over here, and that's 32 minutes before the market closed. I texted my mom. I said, let's close out Apple. She responded, done deal. And so she got out. I think it was like 256-ish. So locked in some profits over there. Apple's not going to give huge gains, but depending where you buy, right? So depending where you buy. What was it? 30. I think she was at least, I can't remember exactly when bought, but it was at least a 30% locked in gain. At least. So obviously didn't catch the very bottom. I never expect to catch the top or the bottom. That'd be a 53%. I'm doing my best to capture 80% of the move. So 5 to 10% of the bottom, 5 to 10% of the top, because waiting for a high probability reversal. This reversal happens so fast, right? So, but the goal is to capture 80% of the move. If you can get 90%, that's hero status. If you get 80%, that's really good. That's really good. 90% is always, that's like the top end of the goal. That's hero. So, in my opinion, but you're not going to catch if you're catching the wicks, you're gonna guess wrong a lot, right? If you're guessing the wicks down here, you're going to guess wrong often. What else? Could be a lower high over there. UNH filled that gap. There's a 9% gap over here. Filled it. There's a huge gap up there, 16%. Let's go over to the VIX, because I posted that chart several times. This is a daily chart. It's above the 200-week moving average. There's a 3-day. It was bullish on the 3-day. When I posted it on X, it was bullish on the daily, the weekly, the 2-week, the 3-week, and the monthly chart. So whether it remains that way or not, we don't know. But I'm just pointing it out that, even the 3-day chart had a buy signal over here, and then it spiked up to 22. I mean, it's a wild thing to watch. So volatility coming into the market. What else? MIGI. Woo! 2.5 targets hit so far. I haven't posted this one. Not too many people pay attention to MIGI, so I don't really post it too often, but it was looking like it could hit some targets to the upside. 2 targets so far. Damn, the rain's coming down pretty good. Maybe it's Hurricane Priscilla. By the time any small hurricane from Cabo, Mexico, hits, say, Tijuana/San Diego area, the water temperature goes from 80 to 70, and it turns into like a tropical storm. By the time it hits Orange County, it's like 50 to 60 degree water, and it just turns into like You're lucky to get rain. Like the hurricane last year, we were like, oh, hurricane, maybe we'll get some rain. Like, we didn't even get rain. They completely missed us and then went to Arizona, which is random. So, but this time we're getting some rain, so it's good to see. MIGI. What else? What we got to do? Oh, 35 minutes. We're gonna have to do some. See, SERV. Okay. Oh yeah, the bear is back. Oh, the gotcha guys, right? The gotcha guys. Well, here's a bearish chart for you, right? I'm whatever the chart shows, so you can say what you want. I've heard this. I've seen that comment 1,000 times. You know, here's your 30 seconds of fame. The bear is back again. But here's a bullish chart. Silly. But I've seen that comment 1,000 times. It's old news. But you got your 5 seconds of shout out. Hodl. Ooh. Dang. Look at all those gaps. Someone asked me, why do gaps need to be filled? I wouldn't say need, right? I don't need them to be filled, right? You don't need them to be filled. But the market bosses, people scream manipulation because they missed the move. You have to know that there is manipulation so you don't get caught off guard and don't miss a move. But most of the time you see it in the charts before the manipulation happens. Like there's always signs. There's always bearish, or not always, but there's bearish or bullish divergence for signs, price getting overbought, price getting oversold, right? There's always signs. But I wouldn't say the gaps need to be filled. But in a quote I've always done on like over 5 years, 6 years, right? The quote I've been saying is that not all gaps get filled, but they work great as targets, right? So the market bosses who are pushing the markets, it's rare that it's retail that's pushing the markets. They'll push it towards the end, but the real market makers, the market bosses, push it in one direction or the other, and they'll gap it up or gap it down while the market is closed, right? So they're playing by a different set of rules than retail. The common retail trader or investor, and they will close the gaps, especially large gaps. They won't leave. I'd be surprised if they leave a 15% gap open, right? Or a 20% gap open. I mean, I don't know when, like the gaps don't tell you when they will be closed, but it's just telling you that it would be very odd if they just left all these gaps open, right? So eventually they're going to be closed. So we'll see what happens. But there's so many gaps on these Bitcoin ETFs, right? And in hindsight, we'll come back and say, I told you there's all these gaps, and we'll just start checking them off. We'll flip them from yellow to green, and they'll say gap fill, gap fill, gap fill, gap fill. And then the ones who don't recognize that will say manipulation and cry, or black swan, or whatever. So, but if there's signs in advance on the charts, like there is plenty of signs on the COVID crash, but plenty of signs before the crash. It was weeks of bearish divergence, lower high, and then the final capitulation. Like I couldn't predict that Bitcoin was going to drop 65%. Like I don't have that. I don't have prediction skills like that. Can hit some targets to the downside, but can protect yourself from a 65% drop, right? With bearish divergence, with lower highs and lower lows, if you pay attention. right? So call it black swan for XYZ and it dropped 65%, but you could have been in cash based off of bearish divergence, based off of what the charts are telling you, based off of lower highs and lower lows. So, if you're caught off guard, you have to blame yourself, right? You can't blame black swan. I mean, they do. You gotta take ownership for yourself and get better, right? So if I make a mistake, it's on me. If I make a mistake, and I'll never be 100% accurate. Here we go with a rant. Didn't plan for this. I'll never be 100% accurate, ever. I'll never be. The bots aren't 100% accurate. I'm not 100% accurate. But when you're trading with real money, and I was able to retire from the mortgage and real estate business from 17 years by trading with real money. And once I was able to have, make more on trading than, in early 2021, I was able to make more money swing trading than I was with mortgage and real estate. And I was only in mortgage and real estate the last 5 years because of the money, which was good money, working part-time when you're a broker. But I didn't have a love for the game anymore, right? So it's just, after 17 years, lost the love of the game, and I became obsessed with charts. So the point is, when you're never going to be 100% accurate, you can't go all in. You take your swings, you take your at bats, and as long as I'm not going to get into 60 plus hours of coaching, but I'm going to just wrap up the rant a little bit. You have to be right more than you're not, and push the trades, do your best, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know how I'm going to wrap this up, but the point is, you can't be caught off guard with the 65% drop if you're using real money, in my opinion. So that would be way too much. I mean, you don't have a stop loss in. You didn't move even the trading bot can move your stop loss to break even at a certain point. So you can say, if, for example, if Bitcoin moved up 20%, you could have that dialed into the trading bot that, hey, once Bitcoin moves up 20% or 15% or 10%, whatever it is, you can move the stop loss to break even. So I always did that manually, right? And deal with real money. I want to be able to go to sleep and not have to keep one eye open, and then wake up and it dropped, 60% on me and wiped me out or something. So I always move the stop loss to break even at a certain point if you can. Like, it's all in the recorded coaching videos. But now it's programmed into the trading bot, so you can just select it and come up with your own plan. But that's what we're looking at right now. A lot of gaps on HODL. 44 minutes. All right, let's pivot. Let's get into some of the requests. Serve. Thank you for putting on the ticker symbol and the name of the company. If you don't do both, I probably won't search for it because I don't want to waste time on it. So it looks like stock, just for the purposes of the live stream, right? It's just easier for me to search for it because there's a lot of overlapping ticker symbols. I've never charted this before, ever. So daily chart is currently bullish as of right now. Could this be the high, what's the all-time high at $24? And is this just a retracement of that? So that's something to keep an eye on. This could just be a retracement. Like, if you look at, this move down like this, and this would be like target 1, target 2, probably target 3, probably close to target 4. Like, if this is just a big drop down, and this looks like a big drop. Let's see. 80%. So if this is a bear market, right? And this is just a retracement of that bear market. It's probably hit at least 3, if not almost 4 targets so far. And it could be done after that. So I'm not sure what your plan is. Are you in a long? Were you trapped up here? Were you swing trading it from the low? Did you just get it in recently? Like, I don't know what context it is that you're asking about this. But that's the daily chart. It's currently bullish, but after hitting 4 targets, is that just a retracement of the all-time high? Probably after 80% drop. So 80% drop, bounce, hit 3 or 4 targets, and then maybe it comes back down. I don't know. That's the 3-day chart. Let's see, daily chart. So the 3-day chart is bullish. The daily chart is still currently bullish, but there's some signs. There was bearish divergence. There's not bearish divergence here, though. Getting kind of top heavy. The orange candles are overbought, aka sometimes when the magic happens. That's why we have a magic wand on it as a joke that we just left it there from 3 years ago. Reverse candles, stuff like that. So you just have to decide what you're planning. No, I'm swinging long from 14. Okay. Just thought I'd share and see what. Yeah. So swing long from 14, right? You just have to decide what your plan of attack is. Like if you for example, if you bought 10 shares of stock, right? Are you going to start scaling it? What's your plan of attack, right? Are you going to start scaling out? There are reasons why you could start scaling out, especially from these 80% lows. There's a massive move. Now, maybe it goes into a super bull run, but you don't know that, right? So are you trying to scale out on a swing? Are you just going to try to push it as long as possible? Depends how really bullish you are. The weekly chart is bullish. You can see like the weekly chart went bullish back here at like those 2 signals lined up at like 11. Still bullish. Trending dots still going up. So are you trying to push the trade as long as possible? 2-week chart still bullish, but the trending dots are way down here. It doesn't have enough chart history for the monthly chart. So just keeping all that in mind. But it's currently in an uptrend, right? I can't say anything about it. It's just have an exit strategy. So you just have to decide before you get into a swing trade, you should have an exit strategy, whether that is, hey, at target 1, maybe you only close your entire position out, but we had many conversations in the recorded coaching about, some of the guys liked to take profit at target 1, like 25%, target 2, 25%, target 3, 25%, target 4, 25%, and then try to push the remaining amount out or close it all out, by target 4, maybe push 25% and then have a different reason why. I gave so many ways that you could try to push the trade and exit. Definitely exit if it's like back below the trending dots, like closing below, because you can always reposition in. Like if you're taking a buy, that reversal candle, right? This is a reverse candle, but this is a bearish engulfing candle, right? Like that. Like if you're swinging here, there's 3 reasons why you should be taking some profit out, right? At the very least, you're closing your position here, right? And then if you're getting back in, multiple reasons to start scaling out, but you can wait till, closing back below the trending dots. So there's many reasons why, or, another one breaking back below. Like this is kind of like your visual moving stop loss, right? A lot of things I talk about in coaching, but let's see. Is that stock or is that crypto or what is that? You gotta let me know if I'm gonna search for it. Troll? Are you trolling me? Are you trolling me, Robbie? If you're trolling me, I'm gonna remember that, and I'm not gonna search for. I'm not gonna ever charge something for you again. Troll. There better be a coin. All right, good. Saved. USDC or US dollar probably doesn't matter, but let's do USD. Troll. Yeah. When there's no chart history, there's nothing I can do. The daily chart, I mean, it's brand new on Coinbase, so maybe there's more chart history on USDC, but crypto, okay, Ethereum. All right, thank you, got it. I'll take a look. Yeah, there's nothing for me to look at. The thing is, I like more chart history so I can get my lay of the land, get my bearings. I mean, if you drop down the 5-minute chart, but 15-minute chart. 1 hour chart. Pending buying the 1 hour. So it just depends what time frame you're looking at, but there's just no chart history. So 4-hour chart, you have the reversal. What the hell? Let's change that. That's like a really aggressive. This is a 4-hour chart. Keep that in mind. Less aggressive. So, yeah, not much to really report on that. Sorry. Just not a lot of chart history on it. Okay. Got it. Let's take a look. And then do you have a specific exchange? That's the market cap. Tether on Binance probably has more chart history. Yeah, so the daily chart still in the downtrend, just kind of letting, after that big wick down, kind of letting, very similar to all the other altcoins where, that big liquidation event, big push up on the wick because there was some profit taking from whoever was shorting that hardcore profit taking, let it bounce, and then maybe they reload again. So we don't know. I'm not I can't, here we go. I can't dodge a wrench, right? Dodgeball quote. The movie Dodgeball. I can't dodge a wrench. So what makes you think I can catch a falling knife, right? So this is where, I'm not going to capture, I'm never going to buy down here. I'll never buy down here, right? I'll wait to see what happens. Could this be the bottom, right? It could be the bottom, but so could have this wick, so could have this wick, so could have this wick, and this wick, and this wick, and you get the point, right? All these wicks could have been the bottom. Could this be the bottom? Sure. But, most people probably didn't buy that anyways because of the craziness and everyone flipping bearish. They probably most likely bought up in here and, or higher. And so anyways, I don't catch falling knives. I would wait for a higher probability reversal. What does that look like? And I don't know if you're in a position. I don't know if you're looking to buy, whatever it is, but higher probability reversal is like all this is figured out, maybe there's some bullish divergence, and then that's like a higher probability reversal. So that's more likely, and that could just be a, who knows if it's just a bounce, right? Maybe the top is in. I don't know, but I don't know anything about ENA, but it looks similar to, or what did you call it? Ethena. I don't know anything about it, to be honest, but looking at the chart, it looks very similar to a lot of the altcoins. So if you look at it, right, if there was like, of course the indicator will help with the bullish divergence, but if you get bullish divergence and, say there's bullish divergence down here and there's like a higher low, that's the higher probability. Oh, there we go. Trading bot. Say it came out like this, then there's a higher low, then it comes out. That is the higher probability of a reversal, right? Here, let's change. Let's take this off so you can see it a little bit better. So, however the price action plays out, right? And if there's bullish divergence, these are the kind of setups that I'm waiting for, right? And even if this price is at 28 cents, even if this price is at 30 cents, I don't care. I'm not gonna. My rule is I'm not buying and guessing this. I'm waiting for a higher probability of a reversal. That's my hard rule. To at the top or at the bottom. So doing that, I waited for a higher probability of a reversal for Bitcoin. It took from November all the way to January 4th. And I still got in at 16,800. So I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about missing it all the way down, right? Like missing, like I bought. I'm worried about that. I'm not worried about the higher probability of reversal. And if it doesn't work out, you have your stop losses, you have everything, right? So I'm not worried about it. And if it did play out like that, where you got like target 1, target 2, target 3, maybe target 1's down here, right? That's what I'm waiting for. Those are the setups I'm looking for. So anyone buying all the way down, A, they don't know what they're doing, or B, they're doing it for clicks as like a badge of honor. But it's not a long-term game. Long-term, you're not going to perform as well as waiting for a higher probability of a reversal, in my opinion. So hope that helps. Appreciate you. Thanks for taking. You got it, Robbie. Thanks for not trolling me. It was. Oh, I hit the mic. It's still good. Thanks for not trolling me, Robbie. You wanted the actual coin troll. My mouse just died? No. Let me see. Oh, I think my battery in my mouse just died. I'm going to have to use my pad. That's when we know that that's when we know we're going to have to wrap up this right at 1 hour. Just pushing it, still bearish. This with regards to surf. So below entry for now. You got it. Yep. So yeah, I saw your other post about it, but I'm just playing it as the stupid mouse pad. That's why I hate the mouse pad on my laptop. But I'm gonna have to get another battery for my mouse. But yeah, I'm just worried about I'm just not worried. I'm just focused about Ethereum Gosh. How am I going to scroll up? Oh, this is going to be hard with the mouse pad. Ethereum's 4 targets, right? So I'm just focused on that. I'm not focused on anything else right now. So the targets are there. 4,300 was hit. I'm just doing the middle of the target. 38.88, 35.51. Went all the way down to 34. Another middle target, 31.52. And if you start getting daily candle closes below target 4, then see the 200-week moving average at 24.58. This bullish divergence that's getting picked up on the indicator. In my opinion, is already cleared. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So this close doesn't look great if you want to go higher. It just looks like to me that there's another breakdown. Could be putting in another lower high. Came back, retested the trending dots again. So there you go. Back below 112, huh? You see RSI sell signal was back there, and could be putting in a lower high. So all things considered. So with that, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you have a good rest of your day on this Taco Tuesday. It's raining here in Orange County. So the baby's going to be cooped up inside all day. That's going to be a challenge for the nanny and for us later. But maybe we can put on some rain gear for her and an umbrella. It's coming down pretty good right now, though. So probably not. Don't want her to catch a cold. But with that, thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for sharing this with all your friends and family. I appreciate it. And with that, help me, help you, help me. And we'll see you tomorrow on the next one. With that, have a good rest of your day. Oh, what are we going to do? End stream.